All right, and I say have Taurus rising and sun. This Gemini new moon happening on June 6th is taking place in your second house of finances, worth, and values. And this new moon is exactly conjunct your Venus, which is, I say your Venus because it's your planetary ruler as a Taurus. And so this is a very important one for you. You're more likely to be impacted. And it's an important part of the Venus cycle, which if you haven't watched the overview, definitely go check that out. But in August of 2023, Venus began its journey by first aligning with the sun in Leo, which is in your fourth house. When Venus aligns with the sun, especially in the fourth house, it is giving its mission around home and family, who you live with, and how you feel secure, how you process things emotionally, and how you financially feel secure as well. So things could be coming back up now that Venus is conjoining with the sun again and checking in at this midpoint in her cycle. Things could come back up from that August time, especially related to those topics that I just mentioned around our home, family, emotions, or financial security. And so that is very possible for you. This is a new moon in the second house of money and value and finances. So this is a time to have some kind of new start in this area of your life. This is a new moon in Gemini, which does indicate that needs to be some adaptation or some open-mindedness and a willingness with this Venus on the new moon to create harmony or balance and return that to some area of our life. This could be within relationships. I definitely feel like there's something going on in relationships with you guys, and I do want to talk about that. But for some of you, this could be your relationship with your own self-value or self-worth. So just keep that in mind. What's challenging about this new moon is that it squares Saturn in Pisces in your 11th house. So even though we're trying to restore balance, restore harmony, and we get this potential for, new relationships or new money to come our way, new financial opportunities, Saturn can often block that. Saturn can create work that we have to do to get to the other side of that. So it's like we're seeing our desire, but then there's something in the way of it. And I kind of feel like that's what I'm getting in the cards as well. I did pull the Justice and Ten of Cups in reverse, and these cards have to deal with feeling like you're not getting your just dues. There's something that you really want, and it's not manifesting in the way that you want. And this, I think, for a lot of people can feel like some relationship unfairness or some relationship struggles where maybe something is going on where you and somebody else are not necessarily on the same page or valuing the same things. And so there's a misalignment that can be happening here. And so with these cards, I think what you could be feeling is quite a bit of frustration, especially because Mars is with Chiron and squaring Pluto. This can really drudge up a lot of feelings within us. And quite a bit of repressed anger. And that's definitely something that I see here because Taurus tends to be relatively chill. It does depend on the rest of your chart, but with this Seven of Swords and then the Queen of Cups as a clarifier in reverse, I definitely feel like some of you guys have repressed feelings, repressed anger or frustration. And that often comes when boundaries are crossed or things are unfair. And so I feel like there's something going on with that within your relationships. It could be with family, with a partner, with a friend, doesn't really matter. Saturn is in your 11th, so it is a little more likely to be friends, but that doesn't have to be that. And so there's some kind of relationship where there is an imbalance, an unfairness, an injustice, even, with a boss. It doesn't matter. But I feel like you've kind of pushed down your feelings about it and haven't fully addressed it with this Seven of Swords and Queen of Cups in reverse. And so this might be a time for you to face some of those things. It might be a time for you to speak your mind. This is a Gemini new moon after all. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication. So whatever you need to do to restore inner harmony and external harmony is key here. And that does sometimes indicate with Mars squaring Pluto that there may need to be some level of sacrifice for this to be done. And this could be, sacrificing your fear of vulnerability or sacrificing your your good name in a way, because I feel like you need to let your venom out with this card here. It's like you need to let out some of the anger, some of the angst, some of the frustration if you're experiencing that. And you're not going to be able to let it out if you're so concerned with how are people viewing me? Do people like me? What if you just were more authentic, right? What if you let them see all sides of you? And I think that could be something that you're being asked to sacrifice. This is obviously very focused on what creates stability in our life because it's a new moon in the second house. So I think many of you, I don't know if this situation is financial, but I think for many of you, it's affecting your finances, whether or not you are, whether or not it's direct. It's like, at least it's indirectly affecting your financial status. And the ruler of this moon is with Mercury, or sorry, the ruler of this moon, Mercury, is with Jupiter in your second house. So it is a really good time to start dreaming up like what your financial life or your material life or your self-worth could look like in the future. How could this progress? How could this be enhanced or get better? One of the things that I see here with Mars squaring Pluto, Mars is in your 12th, squaring Pluto in the 10th. So again, this could indicate that there's something going on with people that you work with, or that's where some of the frustration is, or confusion around, or misalignment around like the future of how things are going to go, and some frustration there. But one of the things that I feel like Mars square Pluto also does is it has a lot of resilience. It has a lot of like dedication to something. And that is a card that I pulled here, which says, she who remains, powerful devotion and true worth. So there's something in your life where I feel like you may have to make some kind of sacrifice, or at least like reveal how you really feel and release some pent up frustration around any imbalances, because that is what's going to give you the power to remain devoted. This is your advice card. It's focusing on your worthiness as well. And so this devotion doesn't have to be to a person or to a thing. It could be to yourself. So I'm really devoted to myself. And because of that, I'm not going to put up with X, Y, and Z happening. And I'm going to hold my boundaries and know my worth. But this is kind of coming into your power and remaining in your power, regardless of what is happening around you. So that's your advice for this new moon. Lots going on here. There's honestly more I could say, but I'm going to wrap it up there. If this resonates, I would love to hear how this is affecting you down below. This is a time in general to be thinking conservatively about our money, thinking long term, and making wise decisions in that regard, and really valuing ourselves and holding our power, like I said. So I'd love to hear your comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And if you want a reading from me, or you want to subscribe to my email list, you can check that out in the description box down below with the other sun and rising signs. Have a great day, guys. Bye.